So it wasn't windy like that all night. Just in the morning is when it starts to pick up. Man. Enough room there for a tent city and enough wind to blow it away in the morning. Oh, man. Well, nice little sunrise. And hopefully out the wind now. Yeah, there we go. The hill's breaking up the wind a little bit. I got about 10 to 12 really rough miles up ahead. But I'm going to try to make out a route so I can see Carol. And then, you know, take a little I know I'm taking a lot, but once I get farther away from, you know, people I know and stuff, that'll happen less, because I don't want to spend $400 a night for a hotel or a room. It's ridiculous. Anyway, beautiful stuff here. Seems like I'm at odds with the weather. The storm is unprecedented. I don't know if I'll be able to make it. But no joke, actually, though. If you slip there, that's not good. So apparently almost all the snow is like melted, which is very good. I don't want to deal with that. I have ice spikes just in case, but you know, I think the trail has enough challenges right now. There's like 77 down trees ahead, so I'm trying to make some time today, you know. Hopefully the snow cooperates. For my male audience. For my male audience. All right, the wind over there is no joke. I don't know how to accurately estimate the mile per hour winds, but it was fast enough to where it was like, you ever have it so windy that it like inflates your lungs like a balloon? And I mean, of course, you know, it's very capable of pushing you over if you're not careful. So, you know, it's another reason that people definitely should have trekking poles on this. We're actually coming up to a spot where a hiker had passed away last year. And it's not really any surprise that it could happen, you know? And imagine if there was snow. Yeah, that particular section, and I'm sure some parts coming up, extremely hazardous. I'm trying not to stop and slow down as much today, but big surprise, the trail has some amazing little things. Yeah, this is pretty cool, all the algae on the rock and stuff. I mean, maybe it's not cool to you, but I think it's pretty neat. These are some big trees. for scale. This is why I always do an idiot check. Not saying that the person's an idiot, but you feel like one when you leave your stuff behind. You know, it doesn't really give the idea because of the depth, you know, it doesn't translate on camera, but that is a very narrow walkway, and that is a very steep and long way down. So then the question arises, over or under? It's amazing how these trees, when they grow, you know, their roots intertwine with all these rocks. And now that it's uprooted, you know, and brought these rocks with it. You never really think about how the rocks are underground and how it interacts with the trees. Somebody needs to call Gerard Butler, because I just saw my 300 blizzard. He was the actor from 300, right? Anyway, oddly enough, the lizard spoke to me and said that his name was Lazard Butler. So he's quite the fighter. I can't even begin to tell you how many trees are in this path here. Some people counted and said there's 77. More or less, I don't know. Shoot. I hope that the guy that started these fires, well, I'll let you imagine what I hope. This looks like a nice little oasis. I think I'll have a little brunch here. Yeah, they're ridiculous amount of downed trees. Miles are so slow going right now. Really, really tough. I'm glad that there's not snow. I don't know if I'd be able to survive if there was snow at these parts. Alright, so first significant amount of snow to go through. Can't get cold feet now. Okay, so there was actually a lot more snow than I was led to believe. I was told that it was like all melted off, and it's like only like 6 seconds worth of stepping on it, and there's actually still a fair amount. It's important to also be mindful that there are still rocks and fallen trees underneath the snow, and if you're not careful and you slip, you can get impaled. Which I mean, you know, it didn't happen to me, but I'm not saying it wasn't close. But the good news is that I'm just half a mile away from the water source, which technically the water source is all around me. I could just melt it and filter it, but I might as well get ice cold water from a spring, you know? Okay. All right. Also, something to note, it is very easy to lose track of the path when there's snow, which you know, I kind of already knew that, but when you experience it, it really brings things to life. Oh yeah, see, this is nice. You got all this pine, the smell of pine. You know, I didn't actually smell pine on this whole mountain until earlier today, just before the snow. All the burnt areas did not smell like pine, which, you know, I guess makes sense, but anyway. Yeah, you know, there's a nice little stream crossing back there, and I got to refill on water, and there were, you know, a whole bunch of people, but I was sitting on this rock, and man, my toes were numb because they were wet from the snow and the ice cold stream, and then the rest of my lower half of my body went numb because I was sitting on this sharp rock, and just like my butt was numb, and my legs were numb, and my feet were numb. I had to learn to walk again. You know, if I were farther up north, if I had a TV show, I would say something like this: it's real squatchy territory. And I mean, it's, you know, very squatchy. Although I did hear that there have been some bear sightings in the past couple days. So, you know, I don't think I'd mind seeing a bear. I would just very much not like to see a baby, because that would mean there'd be a very angry mother somewhere. So, if I do happen to see a bear, I'd much prefer it just to be the singular adult bear. Preferably not territorially angry that I'm, you know, around. Maybe just a friendly bear, like Yogi Bear. That looks like a path, but this looks like a path, so I'm gonna go this way. Yes, Yogi Bear, right? But also preferably not trying to steal my food, because I need that. So, what was his psychic's name? Boo Boo. No, not Boo Boo. Boo Boo was little. You know what? Don't even show me a bear. I'm not interested. No bears. No snakes. No bears. I already saw a snake. I already saw several snakes. No bears. But seeing a Sasquatch is okay. I'll go with that. It doesn't even have to be on camera. Nobody would believe it anyway. But I'll opt for seeing Sasquatch and not a bear. Wow, look at how pretty. I mean, you know, it's a little ruffled, but The colors are quite nice. Now that's a cool rock. Man, what I would have given to seeing this on the trail. You know, because I'm on the way down to Idyllwild right now. Oh man, if I saw this up in the mountains somewhere, I would be so happy. I mean, I am happy just seeing it. Knowing that it exists will have to be enough for me, but I was even tempted to stop and collect some, even though I don't need to. Now that is a cool rock. I think that's Tockwitz. I might be mistaken though. Oh man, that's a good sign, because you know it is a sign. Oh, cars! Yes, I made it. I made it. I knew this was a good sign. So further up, back there, I ran into a actual considerable, you know, sized group of worshipers. Yeah, they're from Cathedral Chapel, and I had a good talk with them. They were really cool, and yeah, it was nice to see some believers on the trail, and you know, they prayed for my trip and all that, and that was nice, you know. Yes. Let us find a hitch in the town. It's time to meet the mayor. I have to talk to him about important matters on the trail.
So just a quick recap of what happened for the rest of the evening here. First off, I got to the parking lot and I was approached almost immediately by 3 impromptu trail angels. They weren't intending to do any trail magic, but they were kind of aware of the PCT, and we were talking for a bit, and they offered to give me a ride into town, and I was super stoked about that. That was really awesome. That was Byron, Paula, and Lulu. And you know, I got to chat with them for a bit on the way there, and you know, they were really nice. I enjoyed hanging out with them, and they dropped me off, and then I got to meet Mayor Max, and I you know, got to tell him some important things. You know, there's a lot of trees up there that need to be cleaned up, you know, but he's a busy guy. And then after that, I met up with Carol. She drove down to pick me up, and we drove back to Irvine for me to take a 0.